Good day, Internet, and welcome to the Monday Night Online Open Mic presented by the legendary New Eurekan Poets Cafe. I am your host for the evening. My name is Advocate of Wordz. Happy Monday to everyone. Happy Monday. Where are the beautiful faces here? The beautiful faces. Have you cleaned your room? Looks like everyone's cleaned their room. Oh, wait a second. Hold on 1 second. That video always plays like that. I don't know why. I don't know if y'all heard that. Did y'all hear that in the back? The video playing? No? Okay. I swear I'm not hearing things. Regardless of what tonight's theme is, I have not participated in any drinking. Nonetheless, let's get into it because I'm really excited about tonight. For 100... Wait. No. Did I do that wrong? I'm off tonight. I swear I have not been drinking. I need a drink now, though. I need a drink now. Okay, here we go. Why isn't it doing it? What am I doing wrong here? I swear I haven't been drinking. I swear I haven't. We're going to try to share the screen one more time. And let's see. Boom. Boom. Okay, so here we go. We're getting ahead of ourselves. This is episode number 116. For 116 weeks in a row, we have been doing the Monday Night Online Open Mic. For 115, we did it with no problems. This is 116, our first problem. Every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, we're streaming live on Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitter. If you'd like to see any of our past shows, or if you happen to be watching us live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter, you can join us here on Zoom This is the number every Monday, 279-995-364. I'll be on the screen for a few minutes. We'd like to thank the National Endowment for the Arts, the New York State Council on the Arts, the New York City Department of Cultural Affairs, Amazon Literary Partnership, and the New York Community Trust for sponsoring our free and sober online open mic. You too can help support us with a tax-deductible donation by going to nuyorican.org/contribute or hitting us on the Cash App, Nuyorican Poets Cafe. Tonight's theme, wine, beer, and alcohol, and I think we are going to hear a little bit of everything. I think we're going to hear some people, having some really funny stories about wine, beer, and alcohol. I think also on the flip side, we're going to have some people, sharing some not funny stories, some possibly triggering stories about wine, beer, and alcohol. And of course, all of it is welcome tonight at the open mic. We want to hear your truth. Flip the topic however you see fit. Also, you see on the right-hand side what our upcoming themes may be. If you want to see that and more, you can give me a follow. It's on my Instagram and Twitter. And I also have a YouTube. Just look up Advocate of Wordz. When you spell words, that's with a Z because poetic license. So all of our upcoming shows, I also have it on my social media, as is the Nuyorican Poets Cafe social media. We got Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Check it out. All right, let's get into the rules tonight. Please, poets, when you perform, turn your camera on. We want to see your beautiful faces. We want to see if you've been expressive. We want to see if you've cleaned your room. We're trying to make this online open mic feel like an in-person open mic. So please make sure you turn your cameras on. We want to see you perform. Also, please have your poems ready. We have a full list tonight. So going analog style, make sure you have your paper or book out to wherever the poem is. If you have it on your computer, make sure you have that file open so that when we get to you, you're ready to go because we want to hear your poetry. Poets, you got 3 minutes to perform and a 30-second intro. As I said, our open mic list tonight is full. We want to get through to everyone in a timely manner. It is Monday. We do got things to do on Tuesday. So please, 3-minute max for reading your poetry. In terms of censorship, put the kiddies to bed. There is no censorship. As I warned you a little bit earlier, some of our poets may use some mommy and daddy language, especially when they're talking about the sippy sip sip. Or on a more serious note, some of our poets may share something that's incredibly vulnerable and could possibly be triggering, especially with a theme like tonight. I don't know what's going to come along. So therefore, thou has been warned, put the kids to bed. Also, after our poets give you whatever they got, which is going to be their all, you're going to see this pop up on Zoom. Click that blue button, unmute yourselves. Make sure that you shower our poets with a lot of love. It's not easy doing this in person or in front of a computer. Screw what your neighbors think. All we care about is the poetry. They should be logged on to this too anyway. It's their fault. All right. Our sign-up list tonight is full. Sign-ups begin 24 hours before the show on Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. To sign up, you would visit nuyorican.org and click full events calendar. When you do that, you would click on the date that you were signing up for. So next week, it would be June 27th. When you sign up for this 27th, you would then get an artist RSVP ticket. It's the only way to get onto the open mic list, the artist RSVP ticket, and it doesn't open until 24 hours before the show. Later on, we're going to talk about the anthology as that is going to start taking form. Also, we're going to talk about a little bit about the workshop I do on Sundays, but right now, I really want to get to the poets. This is our open mic list for tonight. Some of the people we have highlighted: Monique McCoy. I feel like that name sounds familiar, but we haven't heard from Monique in a while, if at all, so I'm eager to hear Monique. Tenson and Cube, I hope I'm saying your name right, who had signed up last week but was a no-show. Hope that Tenson's here so that we can listen to what they've got. And then Suela Mahmoud. I hope I'm saying your name right. Suela had also signed up. I don't believe that they have ever been here on the open mic. So you know me, I like to hear some new voices. With all that being said, let us get into it. I have been talking enough. I have to go sober up. So now a perfect time for that is to get the poets to perform. Mr. DG Clearing, my man, it is a pleasure to see you. Let the folks know how they can find you online, and then the floor is yours.
Yeah, Abigail, a pleasure to see you. Congratulations on the World Series. That is so darn exciting, and great pictures of your son there. You know, you can find me at Red or Green Publishing in the new anthology that's coming out for Pride Month called Out Loud. So please go there and check it out. It's a great book coming out. I have one poem for you tonight. The Old Quarry. On hot summer days, we'd ride our bikes out to the old quarry to swim in water that was cold as ice and jump off cliffs. Some had to be 50 feet high. We'd dare and double dare each other on who was the bravest, had the biggest splashes, how long you could stay underwater, the most dangerous dive, and betting on whether one of the girls' tops would come off when they hit the water. It took a lot of courage to take the plunge. Some of the older kids would bring booze, wine spritzers that tasted like Kool-Aid, Blue Ribbon beer that was so refreshing, and bottles of red cherry schnapps that tasted so yummy mixed with anything. In the blazing heat of the scorching sun, drinks quenched the craving of our thirst, filling our desire with lust and fevered the abandonment of fear. We were the quarrymen and could tackle anything, caking ourselves with the mud from the banks, chasing girls up the ridge to the rim of the blasted walls. They had guts and would lunge themselves off the bluffs, one by one or hand in hand, and we would hurdle ourselves after them. On the last leap of the day, we raced to the top as we catapulted off. Max was next. As they catapulted off, Max was next. Craig followed as Steve went full throttle off the ledge, slipping on the edge in Blue Ribbon style, tumbling off the side, smashing into the rock face over and over again, hitting the water without even a struggle, sinking to the bottom like a leaf going back and forth, with cherry red clouds of blood blooming in the calmness of the excavated lake. He was dead, as abandoned bottles of booze bobbled on the surface. Thank you.
Unmute yourselves and give some energy to DG Clearing.
Wow. Yeah. That was incredible. Wow.
Always
wow. Yes.
Mr. DG Clearing can be found on Facebook, on Instagram. Go give this dude a follow, a mainstay here at the Monday Night Online Open Mic. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you. Let's keep it moving. We are now going across the pond, as they say, to the UK so we can hear some of the poetry of my man Lantern Carrier. Brother, let the folks know where they can find you online, and then the floor is yours.
Great. I'll do that in a minute. I'll do the poem first. Greed wages wars, its sister callousness, showing no empathy for the dispossessed. Victims sink into an eerie silence, not of peace, but pervaded by turbulent noises of despair. Hypocrisy ignores the darkness of the past, using its sister, blame, to cast aspersions on its current enemies, accusing them of the very crimes it once pioneered and continues to create. One can say that avarice began by turning against its kindred spirits before embarking on long transatlantic journeys in search of human labor to fulfill its desires for banquets, fine wine gained from the neck collars of the enslaved. The wailing tears that grief carved upon the face of human suffering, the degradation of women and children, too weak to prevent the loss of dignity and self-respect, were of no concern to its highness nature. Adorned with the nobility of kings and queens, we still suffered the indignity of lost sheep facing a powerful and brutal enemy in strange lands, more interested in the fruits of labor than the frequent demise on tobacco plantations. Fast forward to the 21st century, and greed is still here, more ably assisted by its child called propaganda, spinning a web of deceit and fake news with its right hand, while the left is busy slicing the land into strategic locations, oil, gold, diamonds, and other natural resources, too invaluable to resist. We are the diaspora of a very rich heritage where nature once whispered eloquent songs of identity to our ancestors. We watch carefully, looking at narcissistic mad dogs destroying themselves, each blaming the other. We caught within this fisherman's net of sorrows. Somehow, love is still on duty, just reminiscing on a past which was infinitely more sacred than global chaos and confusion. O moon, why are the stars fading? O dawn, when did we last dance to the melody of nightingales? Sweet sunset, how can we rekindle your kaleidoscope of colors? Amidst all this, ego continues to throw darts at rainbows in contrast to sad, helpless souls entreating to the light. This has been the Lantern Carrier. Thank you.
Unmute yourselves and give some love to Lantern Carrier.
Yeah, Lantern Carrier.
Lantern. Very beautiful. Very beautiful. Yes. Yes. Loved it. Loved it.
Dope.
Lantern Carrier, make sure that y'all check the Zoom. Lantern's going to put all his information into the Zoom chat. Also want to give a shout out, of course, to our producer for tonight, Mr. Ron Mark Thompson, the sung hero behind the community. We'll get to him in a little bit. Right now, we are moving to Dominique Colden. Let me unmute her. You can find her on Instagram at DTruthAndLove. But if you want to repeat that, or you have other places you want them to find you, let them know, Dominique, and then we are ready for your poetry, sis. Good to see you.
All right. Yes, good to see you too, advocates. Good to see everyone. I hope that all the fathers had a very happy Father's Day and happy Juneteenth. So I got some new shit tonight, and it's on theme. It's very short. But first, you can find me on Instagram at DTruthAndLove. So this piece is very short, and the title is called Through the Eyes of the Sommelier, aka the Wine Steward. Red blushes as she is poured into the glass. Her feet quickly dance along the sides. Her form is supported as she relaxes into its shape. The aroma of luscious grapes, strawberry, and rose fill his nostrils, titillating and teasing the senses. The bouquet is his muse, almost enough to intoxicate. His pupils dilate in response to the vibrant, crimson, blood-red hues. He first raises his glass in a toast to the gods for this divine creation. Red eagerly awaits with anticipation. He presses the glass to his lips, taking the sacred sip. It's Red's time to shine. She rapidly travels down his gullet, finally reaching his stomach. Yet, his relishing in Red's delicious taste is short-lived. For a split second, he realizes that his beloved Red has betrayed him. The interloper antifreeze brings him swiftly to his knees. He then collapses face down, meeting his demise.
Unmute yourselves. Give it up for Dominique Colden.
Dominique, thank you.
I took a turn.
Good to see you back.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Dominique Colden, the mainstay here in the Monday Night Online Open Mic. Make sure you give her a follow at D Truth and Love. Of course, poets, or those of you who are joining us here on Zoom, if you'd like to change your name to include your social media handle or your website, you can do so. Next coming up is a man we haven't heard from in a couple of weeks, and a blanket that we haven't seen in a couple of weeks. And that is Jeff Cottrell and Pinky. Jeff, it is good to see you, brother. Let the folks know where they can find you online, and then we ready to catch up. Hit us with what you got.
All right, find me at jeffcottrell.com and Facebook and Twitter. And of course, you haven't seen me in 2 weeks because we can't do 2 weeks in a row. It's the same for everybody. But okay, this one is a little bit relevant to the theme. It's called "This Is Also to Say." This is also to say, I have also eaten the leftover pizza that was beside the plums, and which you were going to microwave for lunch tomorrow. It was a bit stale, but I ate it anyway, and washed it down with 2 of your Stellas. I also cooked and ate the white chickens beside that rain-glazed barrow that your upcoming family feast was probably depending upon. And I stomped on all those greeny flowers in your garden for the hell of it. And I fucked your wife. She was incredible, so sweet and so hot. I regret nothing. She screamed in twisted ecstasy, and then we laughed about your shortcomings. Now she wants to leave you, move in with me, and bear my kids. She will sue you for your house, half your money, and full custody of Brad. By the way, Brad hates you too. He thinks you are the dullest daddy. I will take him to Disneyland and then buy him a puppy. I have the money to do that, and you do not. So tough shit. This is also to say, I have written another parody of Carlos Williams. I tried to match his formatting, but probably did a lousy job. Forgive me. I was uninspired, so lazy, and so cheap. That was This Is Also to Say, and I have a novel for sale. I will put the info about that in the chat. Thank you so much.
Unmute yourselves. Give it up for Jeff Cottrell.
Yeah, Jeff.
Yeah.
Yes.
Game, Jeff.
Regret nothing. Regret
Yes,
nothing.
Jeff. Yes, yes.
I love y'all. Jeff Cottrell. Go check out his website, www.jeffcottrell. When you spell Cottrell, that's with 2 T's and 2 L's. Appreciate you, Jeff. Also let you know, a couple of weeks ago, we changed the rules. Everyone can sign up in consecutive weeks now. Once again, so for those who don't know, we had recently altered the rules on the Monday Night Online Open Mic, because I know we do the Thursday night, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. But Monday night rules used to be that you cannot perform in consecutive weeks. We have altered that. You can perform, you can sign up in consecutive weeks. With that being said, and now we are sure to see Jeff next week, let us move forward to our next poet, and he is a bard amongst poets, as my man, Mr. Tessa Somok. Brother, a pleasure seeing you. Let the folks know where they can find you online, and then we ready for whatever you got for us.
All right, folks can catch me on Instagram under Gashes2019. I am jumping in with a piece titled, So You Want to Be a Human Conveyor Belt. Have you been wanting to master the classical art of human conveyor belting? Wanting to impress family and friends around the family table, the water cooler, or these days on the background Zoom chats? This poem will help you master the ancient art form of Arubashu Karabetsu no Basho ni Obhekuto Watsu Hitobito no Retsu, or the Zen art of Ninge no Konbeya Ruto. You will master the hyperfocal distance for maximal sycophant effect. Your proper background placing for greatest depth of field, generating the maximal foreground and background contrast for your authoritarian desires. This poem will teach you the closest focusing distance, the allowable placing of yourself as an object at infinity while remaining sharp and before overshadowing your malignant overlord. You will master intuitively by analytical analysis the hyperfocal distance of being equal to the square of the focal length divided by the f-stop number and the acceptable circle of confusion plus the focal distance. You will impress your colleagues with your knowledge of the circle of confusion as the distance where you become blurred and appear being out of focus or out of place. You will learn when to abandon the hyperfocal distance, particularly those occasions where you prolong the master's gaze, where the application of oils and waxes on your face to help the Casper makeup stick to the skin, the white face that creates the dramatic look and the photographic composition, the oshiro made from rice powder, kaolin clay, and you may even opt for the Kumadori lines for that extra dramatic effect of deploying your kabuki white face gaze on your patrialis phallogocentricus. You will master the mindfulness of being a human conveyor belt. You will have endless hours of pleasure moving objects, of being the object from one place to another. You will be the master of the circle of confusion as you evade the hangman's gallows and pass the responsibility on.
Unmute yourselves. Give it up for Mr. Tessa Somo, yeah.
Wow.
On intellect. Let's work for it.
Yeah.
A bard amongst poets, Mr. Tessa Somo. You can check him out. Gaseous 2019 on Instagram. Go give that dude a follow. I love his background, man. I love that background right there. It always pops in my Zoom chat. All right, next coming up is another dude with a background who's always popping week in, week out. Couple of weeks ago, he was sitting in my seat where he was hosting the Monday Night Online Open Mic, and that is Mr. Elemental. Brother, my man from the left coast, I hope all is well with you. Let the folks know they can find you online, and then the floor is yours.
Yo, to every poet who has come before me and after, I truly appreciate your energy. Listen, there's no other place like here on Monday night. Shout out one of the dopest hosts in the Zoomverse, Advocate of Words with a Z. Because poetic license. Shout out to the First Lady of Monday Night, Storm Force in the building. Listen, I am going to pass my spot this week for a person who reached out and said they were trying to get on, and I want to make sure that we get a chance to hear them. So I'm going to step back and allow Zomkonto to do his thing.
Great Scott, we have a pleasant gesture. Mr. Elemental's giving up his spot so Zomkonto can perform. Let me unmute him.
Oh, you see now, bro, you're deepening the bloodline now. Oh, that's some bloodline stuff. Much respect, man. Much respect. I appreciate, and I'm sorry, it was my fault. It's long. Let me leave the long story. Okay. The poem I'll share is called Recovery. My body is an amalgamation of found objects. A shoddy piecing together of limbs that I'm only now learning to bring together again. Like sand castles rescued before they become quicksand, and the tiny feet of the tables and chairs inside them amplify, so that for the first time in forever, I can sit and dine the stuffed bits of me that had become that small. The ones I loved too little to care. Found objects, recommitted to memory, repurposed, like giant never sculptures made from screeching tires from hidden runs. Broken bones put together like destinations that no longer remember we drove past. Where perhaps we could have stopped for a glass of water and found the rivers we had been searching for. Broken windshields and beer bottles where life took a wrong turn and life drastically changed. Our vision was tragically maimed, such that we could only see ourselves as fragments of collisions, broken rearview mirrors that kept our brokenness in frame, just vestiges and remains. My every limb is only now retelling its story from the repurposed, stained glass of these accident scenes, from the ruins of cathedrals that exploded with our mothers still inside. Even today, they're still kneeling in there. We ask for their prayers and handpick their love like lint on the protective coats we wear against religion. Every limb of mine now finding its voice around my skeleton like a church choir, dressing each void like a wound with new hymns. Ezekiel in a valley of bones, bringing each piece together, repurposed to find meaning, like stolen copper wires strung into veins and ventricles, arms branching into tentacles, toes, once more becoming a walking miracle. Trudging back to when I discovered my heart purely by accident, when I touched the fire in me and discovered my hand was there. When I discovered touch and I named it. And now I can touch my face again. Thank you. Elemental. Bye.
Magnificent. That was magnificent. Yes.
Zomkonto, one of the newest mainstay members of this community. You can give him a follow. You can see right there on the bottom of his Zoom screen. You can give him a follow. Go give him a follow. New mainstay here. I appreciate you, Elemental, for doing that. For those of you who don't know, we have a history of that. The first person to do that within this group, named by a man by the name of Scott Pleasant. So every time one of our poets give up their spot so someone else can rock, we say, great Scott, we have a pleasant gesture. So Elemental gave up his spot so Zomkonto can rock. Woo! That was fire. I think it would be unfair to go directly into someone after that. We got to cool it off just a little, right? Because, all right, so some people are coming in a little late. So here we go. This is the Monday Night Online Open Mic presented by the legendary New Eurekan Poets Cafe. We do this every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. We are streaming live on Facebook and on YouTube and on Twitter. Look up New Eurekan Poets Cafe. And this is the Zoom number 279-995-364. Of course, you can follow me on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter at Advocate of Words. That is spelled with a Z because poetic license, the Bronx. What? Tonight's list is closed. Signups begin 24 hours before the show on Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. To sign up, you would visit neweurekan.org and click full events calendar. After you do that, you would click the date that you are signing up for. Next week is the 27th. After you do that, you get the option to get one of two tickets. View RSVP ticket does not put you on the list. You need to fill out for a artist RSVP ticket that will get you onto the list. With that being said, enough talk about the future open mic, and let's live in the present right now. And we got the Beanie God coming up, Deadpan Lizzie. Sis, let the folks know where they can find you online, and then the floor is yours.
Can't talk tonight. Good to see you, Beanie Brother, Beanie Blessings community. You can follow me at ES_Strauss, where my new book of Panku's Kundabini is available. I did write for the prompt. It is called 3 Strikes and I'm Out, or Just the Girl I'm Looking For. Cupid has hurtfully struck my heart twice. I fear he may for a third time soonish. Putting your heart out there can be beautiful and scary in one fell swoop. You either knock it out of the park, past the white picket fences, or it bounces off the pole back into the catcher's mitt, and suddenly you're out. Baby's first ear-piercing industrial arrow. 17 years in the making after seeing 2 silver balls rest upon one carpenter's head. Just the Girl by Click 5 underscored the lumber in our hormone-raging teenage bodies one perfect autumnal day. 10 years later, I thought I found her. Because of beer, wine, and alcohol, we could not live happily ever after. The arrow threw me back into the sound and her for a strange loop. Love, lust, sex, and the beanie with a lightning bolt I wore, Verteki in shining armor. I was too blinded by the poison she threw in her body and mine. Not thinking drinking 2 full bottles of $2 Chuck was a big deal then. 4 years of trying to move on, glass ceilings brought our fingers closer together once again. Like notes on a violin, we easily make music together. With the lessons learned in 4 years of love, luck, sex, and beanie sans lightning bolts, I could taste the sour grapes and had to break her heart and mine all over again. One wounded bird led me to another, letting the flags fly high. Blinded by poetry proses and Hadestown roses, I fell again, feeling sicker than the sea for my Scorpio than I did Capricorn. The day is drawn closer, the photos instantly in my face. I cannot get one potential love out of my head and heart. No green liquid, courage, strong enough to confess my love for her. We share the same Cancer sun and Gemini season and as Gemini season begins to disappear, our soft claws are emerging. I pierce my ear in hopes I will fall in love again, but can my heart handle it one more time? 3 strikes and I'm out, or I hit a home run. Swing, batter, swing. The count is full. Here I go. Thank you.
Unmute yourself. Give it up for the Benny guy, Deadpan Lizzie.
Deadpan. Oh, hit it out the park,
Yes,
then.
Deadpan.
Hit it out the park, then, Deadpan.
Deadpan Lizzie, make sure that you put the your social media information where people can follow you into the Zoom chat. Of course, I love ending it off with like a little baseball reference there. Peep that. All right, let's keep it moving. Yeah, just for some of you, like I'm gonna act like a proud dad right now. My son was not only given an award as an all-star, which means he was one of the best in the league, but he was given a Golden Glove Award. And for those of you who don't know what that means, in the league, he was considered the best fielder in the league. So I was really proud of him. It was a very good Father's Day. Let us keep moving. Now we are going to another father, and that is Rich Glennon. Let me unmute Mr. Rich Glennon, who is a daddy of a 1.5-year-old. Wait.
Yeah, tomorrow, 20 months.
Oh, look at I am good at this, people. See, I care about this community. All right, Rich, let the folks know they can find you online, and then the floor is yours.
Yeah, keeping the finger to the baby pulses out there. Congrats to your son. That's fantastic. And happy belated Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Happy very belated Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Rich Glennon on Instagram and Tumblr. And I'm going to read, this first poem is actually on topic. It's called Sobriety. It takes time to cultivate. There is no shortcut. It can only grow day by day, and it can't grow day by day without first ambling over fences of seconds, minutes, and hours. Sure, I've thought about suddenly lying on the track with a hurdle around my torso, the crowd gasping with one mouth at my vulgar spill, my exposed testicles, which is why I prefer the scenic route through the meadowy center, away from the race and things that trip, where I can't hear the audience cheering or booing or confoundedly chattering. And the racers' jeers are whispers by the time they reach me and are easy to ignore most days. For although they call me a cheater for taking a shortcut, it's not a shortcut if I never reach the other side. This next poem got picked up recently, and it's called Long Beach, Saturday Morning. The way the wind cleared litter from my lane, the way Layla tweeted from my speakers as we parked, the way a man on the boardwalk wore the same shirt as me, assured me I was in the right place, and he would have been too if he had noticed anything other than the two squares of mismatched blue clashing in the distance. This next one is called Contradictors. This will be my last one. Contradictors. I can't grasp what they say. First, it's left, then it's down, then right, then up. So they're always stirring. Like cups without handles, they are easy to drop. Thank you all.
Unmute yourselves and give it up for Mr. Rich Clinton. Yeah.
Congrats and get
Very beautiful.
Yeah, congrats.
Left, then down, then up.
on 20 months. That's pretty exciting too.
Always steering. Nice.
So much going for you.
Happy Father Day, Mr. Rich Clinton, mainstay here on the Monday night online open mic. Of course, he disappeared for a little bit because he had to learn how to be daddy first, but then he came back to us. Appreciate you, brother. All right, we going from a father to someone with an incredibly scary name. Incredibly scary name, but I assure you, she is one of the most awesome people in the community, and that is Tara Lee. Dun dun dun. Hello, Tara. Let the people hear that mean voice.
Hey, everybody. Good to be back.
I'm sorry to throw that curveball at you. Tara, please let the folks know where they can find you online, and then we are ready for your beautiful poetry, sis.
Thanks. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Tara Lee. I am a poet and editor from Chesapeake, Virginia. Follow me here. It's a little bent up because I haven't used it in a while, but follow me here, and I'll post everything in the chat for you guys as well. I have 2 new poems. One, the first one that I wrote like today. I wrote it today, so it's like brand new. And then the other one a few days ago. So sorry if this first one's a little disgusting. My cat is constipated. So much so that he's vomiting all over his room, and whenever someone touches him, he throws a fit. So don't tell me to hold in my grief, because the longer I keep it, the more everything shifts and the mind starts breaking down. I'll fill this room with every thought I have, and I know you won't be able to clean the mess. Now, I can't stop crying, watching this son of mine in pain. And just like him, the best I can do is let it all out. That's that first one. And while I scroll up, I'm a snap for myself. Got to give myself some props. And my last one is on theme. The title is a work in progress, but Friday evening at a Japanese restaurant. My first sip of sake, so sweet, so smooth. An illegal immigrant passing my borders, it feels wrong, but I don't stop her. She's just looking for a home. I know I'm breaking some law and God's watching me, shaking his head up above, but I hold my shot glass out for a second helping because you're there, smiling with the bottle, and that's enough to make me lose my inhibitions. Thank you, everybody.
Unmute yourselves and then follow Tara Lee.
Awesome, Tara. Great job, Tara.
Oh, my inhibition.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Make sure you go give that woman a follow. Terry Lee, another mainstay member here of the Monday Night Online Open Mic. Real quick, I want to introduce anyone who may be new to our community to the sung hero of our community, and that's Mr. Ron Mark Thompson. Ron always is doing so much behind the scenes at the cafe. You have no idea. I appreciate this, brother. Ron, why don't you unmute yourselves? Let the people know where they can find you online if you got anything going on. And yeah, take the ship is yours, brother. Take it away.
Okay, thank you so much. Happy belated Father's Day to our host and all the other fathers out here. Happy Juneteenth, which was official holiday yesterday and celebrated today. And happy summer solstice tomorrow, which is the day with the longest daylight in the Northern Hemisphere, at least. So I'm not looking forward to that because that means starting tomorrow, the days get shorter again. But hey, we're always going to be here on Mondays, with everyone. All right. Privately, I am Ron Mark Thompson on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and my organization Bronx Art and Fun Hub at BXAFH. I just put that in the chat. I also host a few programs with the Word is Right organization. I put their link in the chat as well. I also want to give a shout out to Art in the Basin. Tomorrow at 7 p.m. they will be having their last hybrid open mic before the summer break. I am not producing it, but I'm helping out on the tech side. I'm volunteering my service to make it a smooth Zoom and Facebook Live experience. The featured reader happens to be Nico Diaz. I'll be there to support him, and I'll be performing in the open mic as well. So you can sign up. You can either go in person or show up in Zoom. The Eventbrite link is in the chat. Nico, I'm really looking forward to tomorrow. Also, on a personal note, I made it into the Bronx Memoir Project Volume 6, which is a new annual anthology. They will be having a book launch on Thursday in the Bronx in person. Unfortunately, it's limited to the contributors only, so you cannot attend if you didn't contribute a poem, but I will be showing you the book once I receive it next week, so I'm looking forward to this. All right, and of course at the New Rican Poets Cafe, find me Mondays, Wednesdays at the Slam Poetry. If you can make it, if you're in Manhattan, it's a wonderful event. And every second Saturday of the month at the hybrid open mic and the karaoke after party with Paul Concasso. All right, talking about Paul, we're going to go to a different Paul Skiff, one of the original poets from the New Rican Poets Cafe, always a mainstay, always a welcome on Mondays. Paul, how are you today? And go ahead and reintroduce yourself to those who still may not know you, and then go ahead with your poem for tonight. It's all yours.
Thanks again, RMT and Advocate, and thanks again to everybody who's here week after week. Breathing on the spark Miguel and the founders lit for us all. These two things are, make mention of alcohol. The first one is really short and the second one's a little longer. Think I'll barf into my bottle so's I will have something to drink in the morning, woozily squeaked the wino over his sour stomach, attempting to one-up the rat who, wearing a blonde wig and lingerie, stepped out of a limousine to scribble anti-human slogans on the wino's toes before waving a safety pin to fillet the numb digits while it recited the laws of supply and demand in tones of vicious ambition. And the second one is, the neighborhood that did not belong to condos looking for recognition tries arguing over a girl, tries arguing over a place in line, but cannot continue to wish in its sleep the next baby has to wait totally stuck. Who taught you how to give up and quit like all the others, entertained into being motionless? I know. You want to get the world to stop talking to you this way, but during the pause, 9,000 people in a big tower are working on a daydream. That sting in your eye is a photograph they have put to sleep. Flatness now runs through the world like a lost dog. Now, no one has permission. It is something that is beautiful being brought before a committee attached to life, organized by a freeway kept going with fixed amounts of subordination. The representatives of God snooze beneath their flak jackets while one-legged beggar is evicted from the doorway and has his plastic leg thrown after him by the super. In tiredness of my own bones, I am locking up the question about which one of them is trying to get away with more. Nameless are the door builders, secret and exhausted. Give my feelings some help. Hey, should I drink 3 6-packs or take a Quaalude? This morning seems like yesterday, says the woman from upstairs. It is time for her period. She hallucinates, passes out on the floor and pukes. Her 115 pounds hitting the floor are a reverential beat, like the trade fair job seminar on being money naked, where a monocrat chalks out the last lesson before calculated unconsciousness. Somewhere between the cracked beer cans and elevator ride, you joined the humiliati. Now, in this very last moment, I'm going to drop myself off in the industrial neighborhood where there is still something like a truth to be had, even if it is just a masterful ripoff. You may be telling a joke, hey, but all I can hear is the fecal matter coming from a computer or cat's teeth grinding through a chicken bone. Pathetic are the fun and happy.
All right, everyone, please unmute yourself and give a big round of applause.
Skip does it again. Thank you, Skip.
And
Holy shit!
Shit right there, man. Ridiculous with it.
Yeah.
wow.
Incredible.
Always dope, man.
Incredible.
Got imagery though.
Be able to hear you.
Jedi dream. Jedi dream.
Indeed. Superb as always, Paul, with the beautiful background of 3rd Street and Avenue B. For those who have not been in person in the New Regan Poets Cafe, that's where the cafe is located in Manhattan. Thank you so much, Paul, for being here every Monday, for supporting us. You're just a good man. Thank you so much, Paul. All right, we are going next to Ed. He is listed as Ed Foreman here, but most of us know him as Ed Poetastic, from out of town, from Washington, D.C. And I'm curious what wine, beer, or alcohol he brought to the theme. Ed, welcome back to Mondays. Always happy that you're here. Let's hear from you. Go ahead and introduce yourself to those who may not know you, and then go ahead with your poem. It's all yours.
Sure, no problem. My name is Ed Potato. You're feeling fantastic. Please get in time to join my rhyme for all you feel sublime. I got one song, and here it comes. Cause I got friends in low places where the whiskey drowns and the beer chases my blues away. And I'll be okay. I'm not big on social graces. Think I slip on down to the oasis. Oh, I got friends in low places. Please drink responsibly before you hurt your man or sweetie. Please don't get pulled over by a roaring hangover. Please know your limit before rowdy hits. All right, this poem is called Drunken Fish. A cup of Henny to make me sing like Whitney, a cup of wine to make me feel fine, a cup of beer to put me into joyful tears, a cup of Guinness to put me in a stage of bliss, a cup of Blue Moon to turn me into a balloon, a cup of Bud Light to make me feel all right, a glass of martini to make me feel like Bond, sweetie, a cup of pina colada to make me feel the beach drama, a glass of Grasshopper to make me feel like a show starter, a cup of Bloody Mary to make me feel like Dracula and scary, a cup of lager to make me feel a bit hotter, a cup of ale to make me straighten my sail, a cup of Samuel Adams to I feel, oh, that was random, a cup of porter to make me feel order, a cup of strout to make me hungry for trout, a cup of mead to make me loose like weed, a cup of Angry Orchard to help me put 1 foot forward, a cup of Corona to make me sing my Sharona, a cup of Budweiser to make me get much higher, a cup of the Stuckies to make me feel at ease. If you don't drink, it's okay. Too much to drink, you can't think. Enjoy your days. I know what you're thinking. Yes, I drink them all. It was college. The bottles were singing. I was answering the call. I'm not a pushover. Oh God, here comes the hangovers. Thank you.
Yes, he's not a pushover. Everyone, please unmute yourself.
And a good
Poetastic Ed. If anyone is having a bad day, all you have to do is listen to Ed Poetastic. You don't need to drink. He'll just make you happy and cheerful. So thank you, Ed, for keep coming back on Mondays and for making our day. You know, you're just such a sunshine, like the ray of sunshine, which we co-host at the Wordz Right. Shameless plug. Thank you so much, Ed, as always. All right, I'm going to introduce one more poet before I give the microphone back to our host. Coming up next is Wordz Lext, and I had the pleasure this past Friday in the Bronx at Pepadian, the Bronx and the Bronx Music Heritage Center. I happened to work there when she was one of the 6 performers, if you include the 2 co-hosts. She was one of the performers at the Hip Hop Homeland Showcase, and Wordz, I am so happy I was there. If I hadn't worked there, I would have come to be there in the audience anyway. You were so powerful, so amazing, so intense. You were great. I hope to see you at many more features. Wordz Lext, if anyone still doesn't know who you are, please introduce yourself and then go ahead with your poem.
Thank you for that intro, Ron. Yeah, this past Friday for Hip Hop Homelands was crazy. And shout out to La Bruja for the opportunity. Women putting on women. We love that. Women uplifting women. We love that. And shout out to Advocate for having people sing me happy birthday at Hybrid. So that was another good experience. So I have 2 poems tonight. The first one is called Collision. Do not ask me if I think that you are a bad person. I will tell you that it simply depends on the day or the topic of your conversation, that a slight shift in your tone could influence a gullible mind. What may seem like constructive criticism to you is evidence that you despise me. When I am engulfed in darkness, it's hard to recall that we lived in light, that light and darkness can coexist with their petty squabbles, that just because today is not a good day for us, it doesn't discredit the ones we had previously. Do not ask me if I believe the words that you tell me. I will remind you that I am a poet and I know how easily words can be manipulated and stripped of their intended meaning. It is not my intention to perceive you as the villain, but I will ready my defenses. I am still learning to take things at face value if you'll learn to be patient with me. And the second poem is on theme. It's called Show and Tell. Bartender, I need something stronger, preferably something to keep the anxiety away much longer. I traveled through a sea of eyes to get to this spot. You see, the truth is, I don't really like crowds. But the last thing I want to be is a party pooper because I always end up feeling like shit when I chicken out last minute. So I took anxiety by the horns and thrust myself in it. I'm going to need your best concoction, something that makes staying the only option. Give me your best wine, beer, and alcohol. I want to see the world through rosé-colored lenses. All I really need are 2 drinks to help lighten the weight on my shoulders. They say alcohol brings out your true self. So does that make me a fraud without it? The drinks are setting in. I wish I could feel like this all the time. This combination of wine, beer, and alcohol has cast a perfect spell to allow me to shapeshift into someone who actually wants to be here. I don't mean to be such a drag, but drag myself I did, and I am staying put. Just between you and I would have easily made up a lie. but I wanted to show anxiety that it can't outdrink me. Thank you.
Heavy. Unmute yourselves. Give it up for Vex.
That was awesome.
Yes.
Yeah.
For that last line.
Yes.
Appreciate y'all.
Bravo.
Vex Lex. Make sure that you give her a follow at Vex Lex Poetry, a mainstay here within the community, not only on Mondays, but like at Hybrid. And I was very excited to be able to sing happy birthday to you, Vex. Love having you as part of this community. Also, shout out to Mr. Ed Poetastic. Of course, I was listening in. Love that dude. Gives so much energy. And of course, all honor goes to the OG himself of the New Yo, Mr. Paul Skiff. As I always say, he has more claim to this open mic than I do. He really did work with the founders. So shout out to Mr. Paul Skiff. And of course, one time, let us unmute ourselves and give it up for Mr. Ron Mark Thompson. Y'all unmute yourself. Give it up for him.
Good on MC.
You are a hero.
Thank you.
Make sure you go give him a follow. Appreciate you, Ron, for everything you do. All right, we are now going to Florida, and this man always gives this my open mic a lot of energy. He also comes to the Hybrid, which we had mentioned, which is every second Saturday of the month. He has also participated in the after party karaoke, which is also right after Hybrid, the second Saturday of the month, hosted by Mr. Paul Conque. So we just love this dude's energy. Can't wait till he comes to New York City. I'm gonna stop talking. Mr. Gustav Salas, brother, you know what to do. The floor is yours.
Okay, I'm a little over time, so I'm going to start. These are brief thoughts on alcohol. I don't drink alcohol. That is the subject of this scrawl. I don't like the buzz the way I love the cannabis high. I vape cannabis daily and I fly through the sky. I have seen alcohol destroy more lives than heroin and coke. You can easily lose control, and that ain't no joke. I don't believe in the power of positive drinking. For me, it seems to muddle my thinking. But that does not mean I'm for prohibition. Imposing my way is not my mission. Drink up, my friends, if that is your vibe. No need to follow this humble scribe. Alcohol, like all things in moderation, abuse can lead to life negation. This one's called The Hymn for the Cannabis. Bless this vapor that passes between my lips, that helps to calm this nervous twitch, lifts me high to write new shit, which I come here today to spit. My beloved herb keeps me sane. It helps my troubled brain. When morons won't refrain from taking power in this nation, I take a THC vacation. Vacation, all I ever wanted. Vacation, had to get away. Okay, in a total change of tone, this is called Scary Monsters. I start with a quote from Amanda Gorman, poet. It takes a monster to kill children, but to watch monsters kill children again and again and do nothing isn't insanity, it's inhumanity. Amanda Gorman, poet. Republican, are children's laissez-faire weather friends. Love the fetus, hate and fear the child. For the child may learn compassion and tolerance in books that must be burned before they infect young minds. Reading about slavery may traumatize children, but reading about the latest massacre most certainly does not. The fetus doesn't demand rights to health care and a safe education. The child has needs that the state will not provide, lest the child become dependent, you see. Cradle to grave, a steady diet of nothing. Scary monsters and super creeps keep me running scared. But fear and crushing debt, a hamster wheel of longing and regret. Who will be the last one standing? Our supply chain ever demanding more from you than you're willing to give. You do what you have to, what it takes to live, huffing fumes and wishing hard for a better way. Some sign there's a brighter day. Curl up like a fetus, then maybe they will care. Feeling like you're drowning, no coming up for air, and you done past your sickle sell-by date, somehow numb to all the anger and hate. Scary monsters and super creeps keep me running scared. utterly lacking any empathy, pro-life in name only. The gazpacho police will fragrantly take you to a constipation camp. You think they're too stupid? Don't believe they could actually take power? Don't fool yourself. Man's inhumanity, man, has no depths. It is only the rule of law that holds them back. And now that rule of law hangs precariously in the balance. 5 Supremes have taken your rights like 3-card money, like pee under the shell. Now you see it, now you don't. Tell this to everybody, wherever they are. Time has come to rise up and reject fascism before it rejects you. Thank you.
Unmute yourselves and give it up for Mr. Gustav Silence.
Gustav, peace. Gustav, peace.
Gustav, make sure that you put your info into the chat so that the people know how they can get in touch with you and give you a follow. That man is full of all kinds of energy. His poems today were everywhere. I loved it. I also loved how cannabis made its way into tonight's theme. Okay, Monique McCoy is next. I don't see Monique. If you're here, Monique, then please hit us up. Therefore, we are going to move on to Tabitha from the Bronx. Let me unmute Tabitha. Tabitha, you there? Where you at, Tabitha? We calling your name.
I'm here, Advocate. I'm trying to put on this camera. Hold on.
My sister from the Bronx. Got to walk with her at the Puerto Rican Day Parade. Love this woman's energy and her writing. Tabitha, let the good folks know where they can find you online, and then I'm going to shut up because the floor is yours.
I'm Tab001 Poetry on Instagram. I want to say that Advocate has a fucking wonderful soul. New Yorican Poetry Cafe. It was a pleasure to rock out with you guys and our Heritage Month. Shout out to 619. God bless everybody. And I'm gonna practice a piece that I'm gonna do on Thursday, my first reading ever. I'm nervous as fuck, guys. If you guys got any tips, put it in the chat. And it's gonna be for the Bronx Memoir, God willingly. Part of a woman. I sit in a wagon filled twice to test the left side of my breast. A pair of headphones, a previous call from my daughter, music and word. I am alone. I'm scared. All these days wasted when I have a million things to do. Beside me, a stranger's hands pressed to the descriptive screen. Today is holy and I have sinned before the light has filled the day, and all the broken parts of me wish for another. She doesn't truly understand the gift of tomorrow is lost in trying to numb the pain of today. The void of a friend I care for no longer. A shade of a smile has reached the over in my bite, and the enemy that sits aside all the moments of my uncertainty screams lockjaw. This ride I fear to arrive seems to be the longest ride. My heart has no sound, though it is in her silence I fear most. Some people that work in healing weigh the cost of a kind word. The first of days, and I stand outside. And peace.
Unmute yourselves. Give it up for Tabitha.
You got this, Tab. You can do it. We believe in you.
Make sure you watch it back.
Thank you.
You're great. You're great.
For real.
We love you, Tabitha. Good luck with everything. Also, Tabs, make sure you put in the chat where people can find you so that they can further support you. My sister from the Bronx, Tabitha, love this woman's energy. Go give her a follow, y'all. Go give her a follow. A mainstay here at the Monday Night Online Open Mic. All right, let's continue. We are now going to Professor Platinum. We know him better as Doug Silver, but to the rest of the public, he is Professor Platinum. Brother, it is good to see you. Let the folks know where they can be finding you, and then we ready for your fire.
Thank you, Advocate. It's great to see you, as always, see and hear you, and to see and hear all the poets before and after me. I appreciate all this so much. Just one short piece tonight from me. It's on theme, briefly. Sappho's Song. That night in a strange bed, Sappho kissed me on the forehead whisper singing promises in my ear. You are meant to enjoy this beauty in all its many forms, the endless fields of grapes, of olives, the endless waves of sea, of sky, the endless beauty of your love, her eyes, her smile, her heart. That day, Sappho's song, as promised, returned as we enjoyed the sun-drenched shore, black olives, dates, and figs, white wine, our eyes to the edge, just as the cerulean sea kisses the forehead of the cerulean sky. All of this endless beauty, Sappho, my love, and I. Thank you, everybody.
Unmute yourselves and give some energy to this man.
Yeah. Professor with the pipes on him. Tell him about it.
Good job.
Man.
Doug Silver, you can find him here week in and week out at the Monday Night Online Open Mic. Of course, I appreciate this brother because he doesn't come just to share his own work. He comes to hear everyone else's work, even when he's not signed up, he's here. I appreciate that. And of course, we appreciate that. We love our fellow poetry connoisseurs. I have seen here in the chat and on the Zoom call with us, people who have not signed up but are listening in, like Mia Aguilera representing Brooklyn. You need to go check out her Instagram. I adore her pictures over there. And of course, Amanda Ashley Villanueva representing the Bronx. She does her own stuff on Instagram. She has her own, also her own workshop. She does the first of every month. Make sure you go check her out, give her a follow. Who else? We got my man Propaganda Poet, who we love. We love this dude. And yesterday went to another, last week went to another level, because when we closed off the show with the Good Night Sweet Poet poem, he did it in sign language, and which is great about that, because last week the theme was bilingual. He helped out. I appreciate you, brother. My man in Japan, Poetic, he be putting us out on the FM radio stations out there. People know we exist in Japan on the major stations because of this dude. Love this dude. His production is second to none here. What he does on Zoom, love it. Nancy Helgeson has been checking in. Hi, Nancy. I appreciate you. Sometimes Nancy, I think, signs up for the open mic, but then doesn't come. But the times Nancy doesn't sign up for the open mic, they're here checking this out. I appreciate you. Also, as I mentioned before, Paul Conqueso's here. He hosts our after party karaoke second Saturday of every month. I've also seen Miro here, who has learned how to hack all the algorithms. She's going to make sure that we pop up on everyone's Google search. I'm going to speak to her about that. Jenny, who we still don't know, but behind the scenes, Jenny's always checking us out. I appreciate you. And last, but definitely not least, my girlfriend, Mariella, who's out in the UK staying up late to hear all of us. Of course, there's Ray Jane, but we're going to hear from Ray Jane in a little bit because, if y'all can't wait till next Monday to get to, some more poetry in you via Zoom, Thursday nights are hosted by Ray Jane. She's going to talk about that in a little bit. But I do want to get to Mona Me, who has been waiting patiently. Where is Mo? Oh, there's Mona Me. Let me unmute him. There we go, brother. How are you?
I'm doing all right.
All right, well, we ready for you. Let the folks know where they can find you online, and you got 3 minutes to kill it. We ready.
All right, give me a second. I couldn't get the music on my other phone, so you want to find me, my Instagram is monami.coelho, and Facebook is monami coelho. So yeah, I'm gonna do 20 years old, and also today is the anniversary of my friend's passing, so this is kind of like a tribute to him. Okay, give me a second. Can you guys see me?
Nope, we lost you. We lost visual.
Okay, give me a second. I'm taking out the music right now. I'm so sorry.
Now remember, just to let you know, Mona Me, because I found out a little bit late, we can't play any copyrighted music. YouTube will cut us off. They had cut us off a couple weeks ago.
Okay, so I'm gonna do acapella.
Cool, we here for it.
Okay, acapella. Here we go. See me now? Right,
Hear you. We good to go.
All right. When I yelled at London, Alessandro, it was hell. People told me They were so young when they passed. They got buried. Then people gave me my condolences. S- said said I'm sorry. And when I read Miranda's confidence to the lady on NYC, well, she said Naeem sounds sarcastic. The party bus is where Antigona Coelho shouldn't be at. She's dorky. Daisy is acting interesting like my mommy and doing deli stuff. Something smells dead in the duffel bag. Don't scuffle here. Throw that bag out there and reshuffle the Uno cards. Your chauffeur, put that duffel bag where no one can see it. You may think it's a deer in there. Who do you think is really in there? And here's a hint. She raised me and had me when she was 20 years old. Malika and Trey got into an argument. Someone called Mark from a burner phone. The horror in that was crazy. I got horny for Angelina Martinez, Talia Abreu, Leasia, and Kat. A guy was yelling at one of the co-workers at Rite Aid, and Jules said, I hate your mom. The party bus is where Antigona Coelho shouldn't be at. She's dorky, Daisy is acting and dressing like my mommy, and doing deadly stuff. Something smells dead in the duffel bag. Don't scuffle here. Throw that duffel bag there and reshuffle the Uno cards. The party bus is where Antigona shouldn't be at. She's dorky. Daisy is acting and dressing like my mommy and doing deadly stuff. Something smells dead in the duffel bag. Don't scuffle here. Throw that bag out there and reshuffle that Uno cards. Joe's chauffeur, put the duffel bag where no one can see it. You may think the deer, you think it's a deer in there, but who you think is really in there? Here's a hint. She raised me and had me when she was 20 years old. I prayed that Charles don't put me through hell. I prayed I get all the support I need so the devil won't put me through evil shit and hit me with his best shots. The party buzz is where Antigona Coelho should be at. She's dorky, Daisy is acting and dressing like my mommy and doing deadly stuff. Something smells dead in the duffel bag. Don't scuffle here. Throw that bag out there and shuffle the Uno cards. The party bus is where Antigona Coelho shouldn't be at. She's dorky, Daisy is acting and dressing like my mommy and doing deadly stuff. Something smells dead in the duffel bag. Don't scuffle here. Throw that bag out there and reshuffle the Uno cards. Your chauffeur, put that duffel bag where no one can see it. You may think it's a deer in there, but who do you think is really in there? And here's a hint. She raised me and had me when she was 20 years old. Finished.
Unmute yourselves and give some energy to Mr. Mon Me.
Appreciate
Oh, yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, brother. Appreciate you, Mon Me. I'm sorry about having to cut that music because last time, like I said, YouTube had given us like a copyright strike and whatnot, which sucks. So we can't play copyright music. We prefer the acapellas over here. Anyway, thank you, Mon Me. Let's keep it moving. We are now going to Professor Nicole Hernandez McGuire. Professor Nicole. Hello, Professor Nicole. Let the good folks know where they can find you online, and then we're ready for your poetry. It's good to see you.
Good to see you as well. Good to see everyone and hear from everyone tonight. You can find me on Nikki Sparks _poetry on IG. It's slowly growing. I'm really, really excited. And I'll put that in the chat a little bit later. So I have some new shit tonight. I wrote a poem last night, Father's Day. So as always, it's gonna be rough, so pardon me. This is called As Our Fathers Do. They say we all grow up to be like our mothers, us daughters, who hang on their hips as babes, mimicking their movements, trying on their heels, teeter-tottering across rooms, ankles bent inward, flashing semi-toothless smiles smeared in frosted lipstick, borrowed from the top dresser drawer they think we can't reach. But what of the impact of our fathers? Why is it not expected for us to grow up to be like them, mirroring their mannerisms, duplicating their choices, and peering into the world with the same dark eyes topped with the same thick, bushy brows, loving the same music, Afro-Latin beats that pulse in rhythmic syncopation, highlighting the weaker beats, complex and unexpected, much like our relationship. Enjoying the same foods, rice and beans and stews seasoned with sofrito, eggs over easy topped with a sprinkling of pepper, and always a drink, something strong and caramel colored that burns the tongue and throat and softens our speech, allows us to feel less awkward, less resentful of the hard days that we have sometimes unwillingly fought through. Sharing a similar desire to wander, a feeling that pulls directly from the gut to get up and leave, start a new life somewhere else, to kiss unfamiliar lips and touch strange bodies, to simply run from the mistakes we made instead of struggling to correct them. Why aren't we expected to take on their personalities, assume their quirks, fight their demons? Why does one expect a daughter to live like her mother did when it's her father she's been watching this whole time, from a safe distance, huddled in corners or pretending to be asleep, listening to the conversations about the good old days in El Barrio and the fights, the threats, but also the rare laugh, vibrating from core, memorizing the way he holds his cigarette between long, lean, nicotine-stained fingers that have been broken on people's faces time and time again, the way his bemba disappears tight under his upper lip when working out a solo on los timbales, the way his chest sort of swells when you too can perform that solo, bottom lip momentarily gone from sheer determination. Why am I supposed to be like my mom when all I have ever wanted, all I have ever feared was to be like my dad? And I am. Thank you.
Ooh, what a journey. Unmute yourself. Give it up for Professor Nicole.
Oh shit.
Excellent
Excellent.
Shout out all the daddy's girls in the world.
Excellent.
That was just so dope.
Give her a follow. Get your life together.
Give her a follow. Get your life together. Nicole Hernandez McGuire. Nicole, make sure you put your info into the chat as well so people can just copy and paste and go give you a follow. A mainstay here in the Monday night online open mic. Next coming up was supposed to be Abraham Kamani, but he is not here. I hope all is well with him. So we're going to Malaysia to hear from our man, Julian Matthews. This dude knows how to cut open a main artery in his soul and pour it into a poem. I love him. Julian, let the folks know where they can find you and your fantastic poetry online. And then let's hear it, brother. We ready. Julian, can you hear it? Oh.
The joke's on me. A man walks into the bar. Could it be my dead father? I'd buy him a Guinness or two. Love to hear him sing again like he used to. A woman walks into the bar. Could it be my dead mother? I'd ask her whether heaven is free of pain. She'd smile, knowing the answer is just tears in the rain. A man in uniform walks into the bar. Could it be my blind dead attacker? I'd ask him how Lucifer could have let him out for a drink, then spit forgiveness in each eye so he could open them and blink. A young man walks into a bar. Could it be my previous alcoholic self? I'd introduce him to my sober self, tell him my name. He'd laugh, implore me to drink, not see the link of buried trauma and unforgiven shame. A man on his last legs ambles into a bar. Could this stranger be my future self? I'd greet him like an old friend, stand up, offer him my seat. He'll decline, order me to sit, then kick the chair from under my feet. I tell you, when death came through the door, I drowned my grief in drink. When trauma came through the door, I puked my pain in a sink. When my hurting selves came through the door, I clowned around and hid them in the corners of my smile. A man walked out the bar for good. That man was me. No more jokes, no more setups. Only punchlines that now hit me in the gut. Forgive me. Healing takes a while. Thank you.
Unmute yourselves and make some noise for Julian Matthews.
Therapy every time. I gotta tell y'all.
Julian, that's great. Only
That was
punchlines
so
that now hit me
beautiful,
in the gut.
Julian. Oh, wow.
Great.
Yes.
Wow.
Julian Matthews, please, Julian, put your info in the chat so that people know how to find you. I know it's Julian Matthews on Linktree. Woo! Kind of. I told you at the beginning of this, like we're gonna go all over the map with this theme. I already, saw it. We're gonna go all over the map. All right, we need a breather. I think it would be unfair to have a poet follow that. Ray Jane, can we get your camera on? I know you're already camera ready because we saw your camera. The reason I want to call Ray Jane on is because we're having a beautiful night tonight, and tomorrow you're gonna realize, well, there's no New York open mic tomorrow. I can't wait till next Monday. You won't have to, because we got one on Thursday, and I'm going to let the host explain it to you. Ray Jane, the floor is yours. Let the good folks know why they need to be going and hanging out with you on Thursday.
Cheers, beautiful people. I don't have a poem, but I do have the wine. So if you're looking for another place to be intoxicated with your words and with love and with just safety, some place to be yourself, to show up as you are and know that you're invited to do so. Please come out Thursday night, online open mic. The folk call it Thunder Lung Thursday. I'm feeling with it. I'm with it. Same rules apply. If you would like to sign up 24 hours ahead of time. So if you want to spit on Thursday, you sign up on Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, neweurekan.org, events calendar, pick Thursday's date, and then the artist ticket. And don't worry if you drink a little bit too much, like I intend to, and you missed the sign up. Just come on in. We usually have a good luck round, and a lot of people jump on. We'll make sure we have space for you, because the space is indeed for you. Thank you, Advocate, for the time to share that. And I hope to see you there. Come out. You don't believe me? Just check it out for yourself. You know what I'm saying? We're there with the love. Come on and get it. You feel me?
Ray Jane, make sure you go give her a follow at It's Ray Jane. You can find all the information about the Thursday night online open mic, not only on our website, but also on the social media of Ray Jane. So go give her a follow. I used to say, because La Bruja used to host, I used to say that Mondays are the circus and Thursday is therapy. And although it is Thunder Lung Thursday, I still feel like it's therapy. It's a little different, but it's still therapeutic. Ray Jane's like, come here, babies. I got you. I know words is a lot. I appreciate you, Ray. Thank you so much. Make sure you go give Ray Jane a follow at It's Ray Jane. All right. Our next poet coming up is, and I hope I'm saying his name right, Sofongo. Am I saying that right? And your background is fire, by the way.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm really grateful to be here. The name is Pongo, also known as the Honorable Metaphor, because they say my metaphors are so honorable they deserve a seat in the parliament. But please make sure you never, ever tell the government men, because they have a tendency of coming out guns blazing. Rat-cha-cha-cha-cha. Since I missed last week, I'm gonna do two poems, one on the theme and one from my debut book, Trials, which is available on Kindle. So let's get to it. Wine, beer, and alcohol. You don't drink that shit, man. You sell it. Yet here I am on my third bottle of gin, still standing. 106.88 is the bill, and I'm still spending. My problems are 2000 BC big, so I drown them, get lit with the gang, frying our livers. See, we don't need them. We live for the moment, choo-choo smoking like it's 1787. William Reynolds would be proud of us. Rewind and start again. I say, Wine, beer, and alcohol is making me millions. Why not enjoy the Super Bowl with the Budweiser? Connect with your friends over a castle. Peace on your marriage after a music. Whoa. These companies should pay me to name drop them because I am a pendulum in the making. Unlike their bottled peace, I'm not toxic. I don't promise joy in the weekend. With me, it's daily, hourly, and you don't need to drink me, just read me or listen. I can make you a glitch in the system without a red pill. Just this little red book, a product of the red dot that bends at the base of my spinal cord. Peace. The monsters. We are the monsters. We are your leaders. We've got a gun to your head because we fear you. I said we are the demons. We are the preachers. We've got religion in your head to steal from you. We use beliefs, the media, and alternatives to control, delete, and alternatives, divisions to breed altercations, experimenting with your people during vaccination. See, TV screens causing identity assassination. We sanction nations, then we offer them resuscitation. Mouth to mouth, smell our colonial breath, inhaling our essence through a kiss of death, so you can look down upon your color, bleach your skin in a beauty parlor, renting an identity, enriching our entity. See, we take the profits, then we take more money when you give to the prophet, so you get drunk to buckle ills, early mornings to settle bills. You are up before the sun rays because you have a son to raise, wages a rare sum to praise. We removed you from your band ways and gave you what was done to praise. See, we own the leaders. You are led by televisions. You were bred by walking with your head high, not knowing you were dead guy. Your pineal gland is calcified. The other ones be pacified because all of this is classified. I should not tell this information. No, a new order is information. Yes, promotion of the sinful nation, spread disease of combination. We meet up in Obama's nation to legalize abominations. And nah, we ain't taking crap like constipation. See, stripping naked is now in occupation. Sex robots now making some computations. Second coming, yeah, we've got you waiting while we're taking over and dominating. This is the matrix. We sit down and wait tricks. We do pew with beliefs. We pew to stay sick. So these are the basics. Keep you chasing things to buy with your pay slips. All of creation completed on day 6. Tesla knew the key. We took it. So face it. Peace.
Unmute yourselves and give some love to Bongo.
Wow.
Yes, one of us. One of us.
Of course, you know you talk about over. You got to every week.
See what happened? You see what happened? The crowd is crazy. The community is letting you know that you done fucked up, right? Because every Monday you're gonna have to be here now. That's it. I don't care what you're doing, what responsibilities you got. The crowd has yelled you are one of us. You have to be here every Monday with us now. Brother, make sure you put into the Zoom chat where the people could give you a follow so that they could go on the social media and be like, yo, it's Monday. What do you think you're doing? You need to get on Zoom with us. Bongo, it's a pleasure meeting you. Can't wait to have you on again. All right, let us continue. Next, we have another mainstay member of the Monday Night Online Open Mic who also comes to the cafe and hangs out with us, and that is, where's Marilee Johnson? I saw Marilee here earlier. Oh, I see Marilee. Let me unmute Marilee Johnson. Marilee, let the good folks know where they can find you online, and then we're ready for your poetry, sis.
Thank you very much, Advocate. I guess for now, find me here. I know I always give that wimpy answer, but anyway, I'm going to start out with an oldie. So does a haiku start with 7 syllables? Oh, 5? Oops, time's up. And one that's on theme. Stop whining. I can hardly bear it. You really tee me off. This one is called Cable Box. Trying to be fixed like a cable box reboot. I still have issues. And Union Square. A man whips a red parasol around as he crosses the plaza. And the last one is called In Poor Taste. SNL joke in mothballs. I laugh, post. Next day, it's a snub. Delete. Thank you. Have a good evening.
Unmute yourselves and give it up for Marilee Johnson, y'all.
Love it, love it, love it. Hi, Kumi. Anytime, Marilee.
Always love to hear you.
Always bringing that good energy. I love having Marilee in our community. Marilee Johnson, you can find her here every Monday night. She comes and hangs out with us. And then sometimes the second Saturday at the cafe for hybrid and karaoke. And she has come before ready to rock, like clown suit and everything. She had this whole bit put together. Y'all need to go check out YouTube. Look up hybrid open mic and then the Eureka Post Cafe YouTube page. All right, let us keep it moving. Next coming up, we've got the woman who's going to find out all the algorithms of algorithms so that we can show up on all of your searches, and that is Miro the hacker. Miro the hacker, also the editor of an anthology. Let the folks know where they can find you and your book online, and then the floor is yours.
Hey, Advocate. Hey, everyone. I don't know how good I am at algorithms. I got to crush a little bit more LEET code before I can get into the hackage. But yeah, I'm Miro Reads Books on IG. I am not on theme. I'm sorry. I'm trying to find time to write when and how I can. Over the weekend, I went to Buffalo Exchange, which is kind of like a sell your clothes kind of deal. And it inspired this piece by the same name, Buffalo Exchange. It was a girl with cheap makeup caked on her forehead who went through this brief period in my history, sparing half a glance for each piece, settling on 2 button-downs and shoving the rest in the bags I had brought in. She said, "There's a Goodwill on 25th Street, so I left, feeling that Gen Z had judged a little too harshly." Thanks, everybody.
Unmute yourselves. Give it up for Miro.
Great to see you again, Miro. Thank you.
Love you.
Yes,
Again, okay?
Big hug to you.
Miro, our coder. Miro's a mainstay here, not only in the Monday Night Online Open Mic, but she has also done an anthology with the community, Love Letters to Gaia. She has her own book, and she has come to the events live here at the New Eureka Poets Cafe. Love having her here with us. And I remember way back in the day, I think she was, it was Virginia or DC? Virginia, right? West Virginia. West Virginia. She was in West Virginia and then made her way up to Staten Island, and now she can't get rid of us. We are in her life. All right, next up, we are coming to the man who's having a party in his house, apparently, it seems, while he is watching the Monday Night Online Open Mic and is ready to rock out with the Monday Night Online Open Mic. Wait, hold on. I got to kick my girlfriend out of the Zoom first.
No.
I got to kick her out first. She be getting too close to the screen when you get on, Nico. Nico Diaz, my brother. Let the folks know where they can find you online as your turn to rock.
No doubt, no doubt. And this guy, what's your name?
Lorenzo the Second.
Lorenzo the Second. Pull it up. Hey everybody. Yeah, we're just chilling in the crib. And thank you, Advocate. Happy to be back. It's been a while. Life has been lifing, and I was in Colombia leading a bachelorette weekend for my best friend. She's getting married in July, and Colombia, if anybody's been to Medellin, it's crazy. But while I was there, got some awesome news that like your boy is an officially published poet for the first time. It's like real. I know I talked about this back in fucking February, March when I did hybrid. Was it 2-1? It was 2-1 with Japan. But yeah, so I'm in Harvard's Latinx Literary Journal, Palabritas, my first time being published. Very proud. It was like, it's weird when dreams come true and like surreal, and I don't know, like I just feel silly, but I'm happy to share this news with you all, and more importantly to celebrate. And so next week, Wednesday, we're going to be partying up in the Bronx at Barrio BX. One of my homegirls from the Dominican Writers were joining up to do a reading and open mic at Barrio BX, which is where I do a lot of my programming. So if you're in the Bronx, want to come up, pull up, we'll love your support. Yeah, it's really dope. But my first piece that I'm going to perform only piece I'm gonna perform it, which is in theme, is a piece. It's like new shit, but it's like kind of old because I found it. And it is Pride Month, so happy Pride. And it's about like the first boy that I had like a secret rendezvous with at a party. And there's obviously a lot of liquor involved. So without further ado, a crowded room filled with ghosts and strangers, the clang of viands and glasses, the clamor of small talk from little people, and the clash of bodies against the bass. From the shadows of this orgy, this carnival of flesh and wine, I see you. You encased in the same cloak as me, discomfort, doubt, the lonely guise of being the life and light of a party. The greatest masquerade of the ages, we too feed the monster, our fear, our freedom. We wear the mask, yet our eyes meet, pupils fixated on the comfort of our acknowledged coexistence. From the corner of our mouths quivers not a grief, but a grin. I smile as you stand as a beacon in the room that only I am bound to. A ship pounded against the waves, seeking harbor in your arms. I hide my satisfaction, bearing it deep behind my mask. Despite it all, we speak a language with no words, understanding lying next to our silence as a bedfellow, intimate, taboo, primordial. We are Masons in a society with secrets so muted we disband the moment we meet. And so I avert my gaze from you, back to the feast of music and men. I stared into the abyss for far too long, and Dick began to stare back into me. Thank you all. Happy to share that.
Unmute yourselves. Give it up for Nico Diaz.
Great, Nico.
Congratulations.
Really great.
Congratulations. Congrats on the book, man. Congrats.
Congrats, Nico.
Congratulations. Real.
We love this dude, Nico Diaz. Make sure you go give him a follow at NicoDiaz.nyc. Thank you, brother. Love having you on. Can't wait to see you in person again. Make sure you go give him a follow. Find out when you got his event, all of that information, because I know y'all weren't being rude. You weren't writing anything down. You were totally focused with him on screen, except for my girlfriend who stepped away, went to the kitchen because she is a good girlfriend. Right now, we are going to a good member of the community because I got a couple of extra minutes. He earlier had given up his spot so that Zumkonto could speak, and I've got extra time. So I'm giving it to my man, Elemental, brother. Let the folks know where they can find you online, and then the floor is yours.
Yo, I appreciate you, Advocate. Again, to every poet who came before me and after, truly appreciate y'all. Y'all really make Monday night what it is. To one of the dopest hosts in the Zoom burst, I appreciate you always for plugging in. Storm God's in the building. Storm Force is rocking the world, man. Tune in to Thunder Lung Thursdays. Tune in to Hybrid. Tune in to the karaoke after party. Big up to RMT. Follow what that dude does. This is really brand new, man. So forgive me for slinging paint. This is Dehydrated Spaces. Under the moonshine of nights before the rage of noble experiments in backwoods, bathtubs, or plantations, slaughterhouse turned distillery, nearest the sweetest methods of West African processes to get you faded. I mean, inebriated with tastes of grapes, barley, and yeast laced with grains for coloring with names like very special, old, preserved, and barrels of life purveyors to ferment spirits in milliliter increments. Cap belligerence with taxes, slap on pretty labels and call it a child of choice, sent into stores with suggestions to drink responsibly. Ensure vision is ever clear when wrapping lips around bottle after bottle of liquid courage, such a substance used as excuse for more than a few to be loose at the lips when chemical imbalance becomes speech patterns from some St. Ides where they speak old English with Strawberry Hills and Boone's Farm, maybe 44 degrees north of blue skies just over the ridge where indigo ideas come to life in videos so hype Williams it could be a movie, part reality, sponsored by prominent personalities or community celebrities, cashing cold hard 45 checks, change the bear market to a Slits malt liquor bull party, sipping Slurricane, turn Hennessy less friendly, taste so hypnotic, make Bruce Banner Incredible Hulk, climb apple trees to be crowned royal, Douce to those drinks not designed for tattered taste buds, unaware of differences between Pinot and Merlot, so Sauvignon they Blanc. We take night trains to splash down in crunk juice. What? Okay, we see how you do it. Advertise deadly fluid in places where youth have fewest avenues to explore this landscape without closed doors, but home to most liquor stores and poverty block radius around every inner city urban section adjacent to white curtains with top shelf antics. So Louis the 13th sleeping behind Dom P curtains, dreaming of screaming eagle, Cabernet, or elaborate Grand Cru in true diva fashion, keeping the masses sipping swill with small bill palettes as if blind to quality. We see their cards and we raise them ace of spades, Wade and Earl Stevens with Cirocs on our shoulder, big as effing planets. Admittingly, brown liquor connoisseurs from Cavassier to 1738 and every master blend in between, 40-ounce bottles to pina coladas, screwdrivers and tequila sun-dries. We don't drink, we drank. The best spirits you'll know when you hear it. So crack your favorite beverage and raise your favorite glass. Just make sure you're controlling it and not it controlling you or destroying your ass. Stay thirsty. Peace, y'all.
Unmute yourselves. Give it up for my man Elemental.
You already know.
Firebrand.
Thirsty friends. Go find Elemental on his website, elemental.com. When you spell elemental, you take the T out and you put in the number 2, also on Instagram. My man Elemental, love having him as part of this community. He is from the left coast, can't wait till he gets here into the east coast here in New York City, and someone who got the hint that Elemental needs to get in terms of leaving where they are currently living and coming out to New York City, right? My girlfriend is going to now share her poem, coming to us all the way from the UK. Mariella Salazar. Mariella, let the folks know where they can find you online, and then we ready for your poetry, babe.
Hi everyone, you can find me at Made by Mariella and soon in New York City. So I'll be seeing you guys at Hybrid. This poem is on theme, although it's a very old poem, one of the first ones I've written. So like, it's definitely not about my boyfriend. So just putting that out there for people get ideas.
You better beware, all right? I'm about to ban you or Nico Diaz from this Zoom. When do y'all are getting banned? Go ahead.
Oh my God. Okay. The lines in your eyes ran as deep as the lines of coke you snorted last Saturday with some 20-year-olds. While you tossed and turned all night, dreaming you could race against an ancient clock that began ticking as old as the hills, while you were really cruising at 40 to make up for driving under the influence of your father's past sins that you swore to bury along with him. But you got away and didn't do the time. You paid the judge off with an unforgiving smile while you were taking it slow, and your blood rushed with blow on your knees, begging for some religious experience to knock you senseless. But honey, you cannot grow a soul. Don't you remember you sold that long ago? And you might blow out the candles to keep your age in the dark as you rage along the clubs to explosions in the sky, not a blink in your eyes or time will pass by. You want to escape, feel time go by, be both human and dancer, swift and slow. But I know all those feelings you keep in a burning room when you're escaping with a girl and a packet of shrooms, because on other days you're numbing yourself with hash, depleting a Kensal Rice stash that you hoarded when Boris controlled the borders, because it's just what the doctor ordered. Wore a colored hat thinking you can hide from the people on the street that you lied to. Well, I'm done filling in the blanks for you. You can dye the gray, hide the gray, and in blissful ignorance wear the gray when it suits you to shrivel up your memory, but nuance is not lost on me. I can see right through your self-induced, self-diagnosed amnesia, though I admit the scent of false wisdom was an aphrodisiac. But the flags were too red, and you charged, you Taurus bull. As you prayed, may the fourth be with you, young Padawan. You declared I could learn from you about how to cheat, call off engagements, and outsmart the youth. So you point and shoot, hoping you can frame your youth in 4 by 6 inches of self-growth that was stunted by your father, mother, ex-fiancé mates, and neighborhood dealer around the corner. Everyone else wasted your youth. So do you drink from mine now too? Because I'm smart enough to call you out, but not strong enough to let you go. But darling, you said, I'm Peter Pan. When age came knocking, I flew and ran. Though I can't give you pixie dust because there was no faith and trust. You had me hook, line, and sinker, and you forgot I'm a thinker. So tell me, when did you fall out of your stroller so you could fly to a second star that would take you home to Fiona's around the corner? You said it yourself, girls are far too clever to fall from their prams. I don't want a lost boy, I want a man.
Unmute yourselves and give it up for Mariella Salazar.
First lady.
Fairy tale language.
Yes.
On my record.
Flags were too red.
You can follow her on Instagram at Made by Mariella. You can also find her here every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern. She is still always staying up late UK time just to hear all of us hang out and have a good time. Appreciate you, Mariella, a mainstay here at the Monday Night Online Open Mic. So we have gotten through the list and some. We are going to be back next week. Now, next week's theme is going to be, just letting y'all know in case you didn't see it, is going to be a lot more serious. It's National PTSD Awareness Day, so that is going to be the theme. A lot of people are a little too familiar with what that is, so I'm sure that next week will be a little bit heavier, but check out neweureka.org. Check out the website. We're doing so many things here inside the cafe. I'm actually in the cafe right now. And at the same time we're doing our online open mic, we have an on-site open mic. It's being hosted by Soul. It is up there. Also to remind some of y'all who may not have been here last week, I have been named the program manager here at the New Eurekan Poets Cafe. So I am doing the programming here and the shows that are here at the cafe. So please come to the cafe and make it look like I'm doing all the right things, okay? Thanks, appreciate it. neweureka.org, of course, check out our social media, New Eurekan Poets Cafe, Twitter, Instagram. Me on Instagram, Twitter, my name is at the bottom, but y'all have heard enough from me the whole night, and as has been tradition for well over a year, I am not going to be the last voice you heard because you've heard enough of me. We're going to hear someone from the community take us home with the Good Night Sweet Poet poem. I will see y'all next Monday. Make sure you sign up for Thursdays. And with that being said, Dominique, take us home, sis.
All right. Good night, sweet poets. Thank you for sharing what you've written. Good night, sweet poets. Thank you for taking the time to listen. Good night, sweet poets. May your dreams be as imaginative as tonight's poems. Good night, sweet poets. Thank you for inviting the spirit of Miguel Algarin into your home. This has been the Monday Night Online Open Mic, presented by the New Eurekan Poets Cafe, hosted by Advocate of Wordz. On behalf of the community tonight, I, Dominique, AKA D Truth and Love, would like to say good night, sweet